Attention Chicago Bears fans. The season isn't just being fought on the field. There's a fierce battle brewing off it too. One of our brightest rising stars, a crucial piece of the offense that's been lighting it up these past few weeks, might be switching sides soon. And trust me, this rumor isn't just hot air. The Cleveland Browns are lurking, ready to snatch away a key player from the Bears. What could this mean for our future? Stick around till the end and find out how this potential loss could change everything for Chicago. But that's not all. The drama keeps coming. Just when we thought the team was all set for that critical game in London, we were hit with a shocking surprise. One of our starting defensive studs didn't make the flight. Yep, you heard right. And the reason? It might be more worrying than we hoped, especially considering his history with this kind of injury. Will he make it back in time for the international showdown, or is this situation more serious than we thought? You need to hear this because it could shake up the Bears defense in a big way. And if that wasn't enough, there's fire in our offensive line. A veteran that the Bears bet big on is quickly falling out of favor. His days with the team might be numbered. A major shakeup in the depth chart has him sitting out while an unexpected player is stepping up and stealing the spotlight. Could this be the end of his time with the Bears? Don't go anywhere because what's happening with our O-line could rock the entire season. If you want to stay up to date on everything going down with our Bears, subscribe now and smash that like button. You won't want to miss a single detail of what's coming next. Are we really going to let Tevin Jenkins slip away? I think this is the key question for every Chicago Bears fan right now. After seeing how our offensive line has improved, how we've protected Caleb Williams, and how our run game has come back to life, are we really going to let one of our key pieces walk in the upcoming free agency? Let me tell you this. If the Cleveland Browns are lurking, it's because Jenkins has proven to be one of the best young guards in the league. And I'm not surprised. Let's be real here, folks. In the last 2 consecutive home wins, the offensive line has been critical. We've seen Caleb Williams shine in the pocket, only getting sacked once last Sunday. That's no coincidence. That chemistry, that rhythm the line has developed has been the result of a lot of hard work and of course the consistency of players like Tevin Jenkins. But now, with Jenkins set to become a free agent in 2025 and with the Browns already making noise, there's a big question hanging in the air. Are the Chicago Bears willing to pay what this guy is worth? Because I'll tell you this, Cleveland isn't going to wait. They're desperate, their O-line has been a mess, and having a guy like Jenkins on their radar only means one thing. They want him, and they want him now. Their guard combo of Joel Bitonio and Wyatt Teller has been one of the best in the league, but Bitonio is already 33, and Teller is out with an injury. I ask you this, is it really the time for the Bears to lose a player of this caliber? Jenkins isn't just another name on the roster. This guy has been wrecking defenses since he moved to guard in 2022. He's allowed just 28 blown blocks since the start of 2022, putting him in the elite tier of his position. He's not just any player. He's only 26 and has already solidified himself as a reliable veteran. And if there's one thing we know, it's that in this league, offensive lines are the backbone of any team with serious championship aspirations. But let me tell you this, keeping Jenkins isn't just a matter of money, it's about long-term vision. Do we want to build a team that competes consistently, or are we going to be one of those teams that let vital talent walk when things are starting to click? Jenkins is a core part of what we're building, and losing him could be a bigger blow than most people think. Look, I'm not going to lie. The decision isn't easy. Keeping a player like Jenkins is going to cost, and there are always teams willing to pay more, especially when their needs are as urgent as the Browns. But the real question is, are we going to let Cleveland or any other team take one of our best players? I don't think we should. Family of the Chicago Bears, attention! Today I've got news you won't want to miss because something serious is happening with one of our key players. Let me tell you this, Brisker did not board the plane with the rest of the team to London. And you know what? This is concerning. Very concerning. Now I ask you, how many times are we going to find ourselves in this situation with such an important player? Brisker, our starting safety, is dealing with concussion symptoms again after a brutal hit in the game against the Panthers. Yeah, the same hit that knocked Tommy Tremble out of the game. What does this mean for the team? I believe we're facing a critical situation. This isn't the first scare we've had with Brisker and concussions. Since he entered the league in 2022, he's dealt with this type of injury 5 times, and that's definitely something to think twice about. Can you imagine the impact this could have on his future and the team's performance? Now, Brisker isn't the only one missing the trip. Zach Pickens and Terrell Smith also didn't join the team due to their respective injuries. But what about Tevin Jenkins? He did get on the plane, despite rolling his ankle in the last game. This makes me wonder, are they taking unnecessary risks with Jenkins? Let me tell you, we can't afford to lose more key pieces. Now, let's get serious. Jaquan Brisker could return if he clears the concussion protocol, but I ask you, do we really want to rush him back? This player has already dealt with multiple concussions in a short time. Look, concussions are no joke, especially when we're talking about his 5th one. We saw it last year when he suffered a concussion against the Raiders and missed 2 games after that. The NFL is getting stricter on these issues, and rightly so. A player's long-term health is at stake, and I believe we should be very careful about how we handle this. If Brisker isn't ready to play, we have options like Elijah Hicks, Jonathan Owens, and we could even bring back Tavarius Moore from the practice squad. But I'll tell you, none of those options have the same impact as Brisker on defense. This guy has been a beast on the field. 40 tackles, 1 sack, 2 pass deflections, and he's forced 2 fumbles in just 5 games. Are we going to be able to survive without him against the Jaguars in London? I ask you, how do you think this team can respond to such a significant loss? Let's get to the point, Chicago Bears fans, because today we're not here for introductions or beating around the bush. What's going on with Nate Davis? The guy we signed for $30 million is disappearing off the map, and I ask you this, how is it possible that a player with that salary is falling so quickly down the depth chart? Come on, this isn't what we expected. Let me tell you, after the dominant win by the Bears against the Panthers, where our offensive line had its best performance of the season, rushing for 128 yards and allowing just 1 sack, one would think everything is fine. But no, Nate Davis, that player many expected to dominate on the line, played only 4 snaps. Yes, 4. Meanwhile, Matt Pryor, a backup, was on the field for 70 snaps in his right guard position. And what about when Tevin Jenkins rolled his ankle? Did they call Davis? No. That's when Bill Murray, a player who wasn't even considered a starter, stepped in and played 37 snaps. Let me tell you, this isn't a coincidence. According to Brad Biggs from the Chicago Tribune, it seems that Murray has surpassed Davis on the depth chart, and in week 6, when we face the Jacksonville Jaguars in London, Murray could be the starter instead of Davis if Jenkins isn't ready. And now I ask you, how did we get here? How is it that a player we're paying $10 million a year is being surpassed by a backup? This cannot go unnoticed. And make no mistake, the coaching staff isn't sure Davis can even play left guard. Jenkins, who played very well at right guard in 2022, was moved to left guard after we signed Davis. Why? So he could play in his natural position. But the results have been frankly disappointing. I believe there's something more going on here. This isn't just a performance issue. There's something the Eberflus staff no longer trusts about Davis. There was a lot of talk in the preseason about how Murray impressed the coaches, and it seems those good impressions have continued in practice to the point that Murray has climbed the rotation. Chicago Bears fans, I have a series of important questions I want you to debate in the comments. Let's start with Tevin Jenkins. Do you think he's worth paying what he truly deserves, or should we risk letting him go and trust we can find someone just as good or better? In my opinion, losing Jenkins would be a huge mistake that could cost us much more in the long run. I want to hear what you think. Now let's talk about Jaquan Brisker. Is it time to be more cautious with his future, or should we trust he'll recover and get back on the field as soon as possible? Honestly, I think we're playing with fire, and risking our best players could cost us more than just 1 game. What would you do in this situation? And finally, a key question about Nate Davis. Are we witnessing the end of his tenure as a starter in Chicago, or do you think he still has a chance to reclaim his spot? This topic is generating a lot of discussion, and I'd love to know your opinions on it. Here on this channel, we're more than just casual fans. We're a family of passionate supporters who share every victory and every challenge. So if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe and be part of this community. Together we can make our voices heard and support our team until the end. Give a like, share the video, and don't forget to comment. See you in the next video, Bear Nation.